Hello, I'm Cher, and welcome back to Diary of a Pen Nerd. So today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about my 2024 year in fountain pen review as we wrap up the end of the year. I'm gonna try and post this on New Year's Eve, so it'll be the very last thing. And yeah, I thought we could just have some fun. So, year in fountain pen review. I thought we could start by going over everything that I accumulated this year. And I have my little piece of paper. This is a piece of handmade recycled paper that I got at the Renaissance Festival. This is my first time ever using it, and it is blue. I don't know if that comes across well on camera, but it is kind of like a minty blue, so that's super fun. And I did some tests down there in the corner because I wasn't sure how well it would take the fountain pens, and it took it pretty good. So I'm excited to use this little piece of paper for my year in fountain pen review. So we can kind of start by going along in chronological order all of the pens that I got this year. And so my first order is these two. So these two I got in January, so almost a full year ago, as my birthday present to myself. So first up we have the Kaweco Sport Mellow Blue. Here I'll write a little I'll do that later. Kaweco Sport Mellow Blue. In a medium nib. And this one I actually had originally ordered dark olive, and then I got an email after I had placed my order saying that they didn't have dark olive. Would I like to exchange? So I exchanged for blue. The story about dark olive is kind of interesting. My mom bought the Kaweco Sport dark olive for me. This is a long story that we don't need to tell, but I'll tell it. My mom bought the Kaweco Sport dark olive and an extra fine nib for me for an anniversary that I had accomplished, and I loved that pen and I loved what it represented, and then I lost it. I left it in a hotel room, and so I was trying to replace it, and alas, it did not work. I did realize very early this morning that dark olive is becoming increasingly difficult to find. So I think I will probably snatch it up as soon as I can find one to try and fill this hole in my collection that I feel. But yeah, this is the Kaweco Sport Mellow Blue with a medium nib, and if I could describe my experience with this pen this year, I would say it's a hard worker. I'll write that down. There was not a lot of time that I did not have this pen inked up, and I really realized that I like medium nibs, and this one I didn't have a single ink that I put in this one that it didn't write well with. So I wrote a lot with this one in my journal, for school, for whatever else. So that's the first pen I acquired this year. And the second pen in the same order was the Ferris Wheel Press Brush Fountain Pen. In Sunset Sorbet. And then this one is also in a medium nib. And this one goes incredibly well with my Diamine Cozy Up, this ink. So that's kind of its forever ink pairing. I don't have this one inked up all the time, or at least I didn't this year, but when I have had it inked up, I just write and write and write, and it's so fun, and it is always with Diamine Cozy Up. I would like to find or try out other like bright pinks in this pen, but I don't think any of them will ever top Cozy Up. So I'm going to write that down. Diamine Cozy Up Soulmates. This might take longer than I had previously anticipated, but it's okay. Next up, we'll have these two, which were graduation presents. I graduated high school. Woo! In the top 5%, or the top 3% actually, of my class of about 520. So it was pretty cool. It was a big accomplishment. I don't think my brass pen is inked up currently, but my Hello Kitty pen is. So I'll write that in there. There you go, Sport times Hello Kitty. Lilac. And this is, I think, like extra fine. And then my Kaweco Sport. Brass. And I think that one is just a fine. Although I think that one might be an extra fine too. It doesn't matter. And these are like some of my favorite nibs that I have because they just write so smooth. They're fine, but they're really smooth. And I like that. And then the other thing is they were just special graduation presents. So I'll write in graduation present for that. And when I first got them, they were really precious to me. And so I kept them in their little boxes, and they did not leave my desk, and I barely ever wrote with them because I just had other things out and available, and they were too precious to use. And in the last, part of the year, I said, these are writing instruments for me first and foremost, and so I want to use them. I want to write with them. And I, inked them up and put them in my pen case and started taking them to school with me, which was an adventure. And I've had a lot of fun and written a lot more with them, so that's good. And then the other thing about these two is that my unboxing video of these two pens is my very first video on my fountain pen channel. So this is where it all started. So that is pretty cool and exciting. And then fast forward several months, I got those in May. I don't quite remember, maybe September, October. I made an order from Pen BBS, and we kind of go in twos here. Two. So I made my order from Pen BBS on Etsy, and I got these two pens. These were pens that I had loved and lusted after for a while, and finally pulled the trigger on. This is the 471. Fairyland acrylic. And this one writes like a broad, so I'm gonna put that down. And This one is my, like, most adorable. Design. So this one I just love to play around with all the time. It's just so fun. And then this one is Pen BBS 309. And it's also in Fairyland. And this one writes, I don't know, more like a fine. They don't come with like a nib size that you can choose, but... And then this was my, it was a piston filler, which was exciting because I didn't have a piston filler in my collection. So that's fun. And these two were super exciting. And then moving right along, I made a Black Friday purchase, and I got 2 Jinhaos. So this is the Jinhao, and I got these off Amazon. Transparent amber. This is a medium. And this one I really like because it has a heartbeat nib. But I am still searching for a good ink for this one. I don't really like the ink that it has in it now because I feel like it's just a little dry. But I think if I find a good ink to put in this, that this will really be a spectacular pen. And then we have the Jinhao. It's such a big pen and I love that. Jinhao 9019 in transparent blue. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this one because of how big it is for like long writing sessions, but the thing about this one is it became a quick favorite, and now it's all I want to write my journal entries in. And as you can see, it's got a big converter, but I have used up a lot of the ink in my converter for also having quite a few other pens inked and whatnot. So that tells you how much I have been reaching for this pen. Quick favorite. It writes so beautifully and so smooth and lovely. And then, so those are all of the pens that I have gotten in 2024, except for one. I did get one pen as a Christmas present. I'm so excited. I did talk about this on my channel that I wanted it, that I saw it and I loved it, but I just couldn't justify buying it at the time. And that is the another Kaweco Hello Kitty pen. And as you can see, I have not even opened this pen up. I haven't done an unboxing or anything. I did take the keychain out and put it on my keys, but other than that, I have just been waiting. But I'm so excited for this pen. Here, we'll open it up right now. We won't ink it up, but we'll open it up and get it out. I'm thinking about buying another Kaweco converter because right now I only have one. So then, you know, my other Kawecos I have to either eyedropper or have cartridges. But there she is, and she is this light purple violet with transparent with all of these little sparkles and the Hello Kitty, and I love it so much. It's so cute. Hello Kitty and Pusheen are my two favorites. If Kaweco ever like partnered with Pusheen, I don't think they will, but if they ever did, I would probably lose my mind. Like literally lose my mind. So I can't, I'll just put that back in the box. I can't, you know, write my little thing with it because it's not inked up, but I'll write it in with this one. Kaweco Sport times Hello Kitty. And it says Violet Glitter, but I know that's not the actual name. It's like moon, it's not moonshine, because that's alcohol, but like Moonlight Violet or something like that. I'll write Moonlight Violet and that one is also extra fine. And that one is a Christmas present. So, if there is one brand that kind of dominates this year, it is definitely Kaweco. I got 4 Kawecos this year. And then I'm looking to get another, although I would consider that one to be a repurchase rather than a new purchase. We'll get that out of there. So yeah, those are all of the pens that I bought this year. And then I only got 1 ink this year, and that's this one, the J. Herbin Poussière de Lune, which I hear means moon dust. And I have that one in this pen, so I can write it in. I bought this one while in Germany. And it is just a really pretty, dusty purple color. Germany trip. There we go. And that is all of the ink that I bought this year. The reason for that is because I kind of told myself that I wasn't going to buy any more ink this year until I had used up a decent portion of what I had. I thought I was going to finish a bottle this year. I didn't quite make it, but I thought if I finished a bottle, then I would get another bottle. Didn't exactly work. I did get a bottle without having finished one, but as it stands right now, I have the exact same number of ink bottles in my collection. The reason for that being is, as I discovered just the other day, one of my Monteverde ink bottles had gone moldy, so I threw it out. So I have the same number of ink bottles in my collection. But then, you know, this is a pretty good overview of what my fountain pen year in review looked like. This year I did some other fun things with fountain pens, in that I started my YouTube channel, and this is a way that I get to, you know, document my journey and see what I'm be able to look back and see what I was doing, what I was thinking, what I was, you know, getting and trying out and enjoying and loving in a whole different format. And then it also, you know, motivates me to try and interact with my pens and inks in different ways. And I've done, you know, lots of different things for a video that I'm not sure I would have done if it was just me hanging around, you know, like a lot of the different painting or transcribing or hand lettering that I've done. I'm not sure that I would have done it or approached it the same way if I hadn't been making a video. And so that's been really fun. And then the other thing is that this allows me to like interact with the fountain pen community, which has just been that's really what's been the best part about it, is getting to interact with the community and getting to hear about other people and what they're doing and loving and trying out, and that's been a lot of fun. And then the other thing that I did that I kind of started this year that I did intentionally is I started to use my most precious things. I came from this mindset of like, I can't use my most precious things because if I use them, then I won't have them anymore. So, like my loose leaf Tomoe River paper, I have one ream of loose leaf Tomoe River paper. I think there was 60 pages in it to begin with, and I've had that for I think probably 2, maybe even 3 years. And I maybe used 2 pieces because I was worried, I'm going to use it up and then I'm not going to have it anymore. But this year I really made an effort to, get through that and into more of a like, I'm going to use it and I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to love it, even for little things. So now I get out a piece of Tomoe River paper and use it and love it and enjoy it for whatever I feel like, for just a little thing, for something that I'm gonna, throw away or whatever, because, well, I don't throw it away. But the point is, I'm not saving things for some mysterious purpose that's going to be worthy of using them. I'm going out and I'm using my most precious things, regardless. And that's where, taking these fountain pens out of the box and putting them in my pen case and taking them to school was it maybe doesn't seem like much, but it was a big thing to me because I was worried, that they're going to get damaged or lost or whatever else. And so I was worried, but it's like if I'm keeping them in the box, then they're not fulfilling their purpose and they're not living their best life, I guess. So those were some pretty big things that I kind of changed my mindset on this year. So that was pretty exciting too. So yeah, that is my 2024 year in fountain pen review. It was a pretty good year. I ended up getting more pens than I thought I was going to this year. It's like looking at it, I'm thinking, wow, this is quite a few pens, but that's really fun. And I'm gonna make another video talking about my goals and kind of wish list for 2025 and how I'm gonna be approaching it. So stay tuned for that, but that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another transmission. If you liked it, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment. I love getting comments, or a like. And if you liked it so much you've decided you want to stick around, you can hit that subscribe button, and I will have the next chapter of my story out shortly. Bye for now. Love, share.